Happy Valentine's Day, folks, and welcome back to WWE Network and Chill, where I, Graham Jason Matthews, break down all the original content I watch on the WWE Network as well as on the USA Network, as today we're talking Season 2, Episode 3 of Miz and Mrs., entitled Baby Gender Miztery. Get it? Like, as opposed to mystery, it's Miztery. Anyway, I didn't get a chance to watch this episode until today, which I suppose is fitting, just because it's Valentine's Day, they're talking about the baby gender reveal. I guess it kind of works out that way on purpose, but I thought this was another great episode of the show. This is one of the rare reality shows, and I'm sure I've said this before, this is one of the rare reality shows that I've watched, and I don't watch a ton of them. I watch all the WWE-themed ones, Total Divas, Total Bellas, this one, that has actually gotten better in time. Like, I was worried when I saw the first episode or two, and it was stupid, but they've actually found their footing quite well at this show, and it's become one of my favorite episodes, or one of my favorite shows to watch every week, and that includes, I think Wednesdays are the best night for television, in my opinion, between Dynamite, NXT, Miz and Mrs. Now, normally, because of NXT and Dynamite, I don't really get a chance to watch Miz and Mrs. until Thursday, early Friday, like I did today, just because I'm busy usually on Thursdays. But it was still great. I very much enjoyed the show for a 21-minute episode. These are always fly-by fast as opposed to like the Total Divas ones, which are always drama-filled and they go on for an hour. And the show can be enjoyable sometimes. But I feel like the Miz and Mrs. show is right up my alley. It's always entertaining, and this was one of the funnier episodes I've seen in some time. So we kick off the episode being shown the Miz. He's working out in his gym in his new house, but he's distracted by the dolls in back of him. Now, I know Maurice put the dolls in there because, she wanted to rib the Miz after he was lying to her about going golfing in the last episode, but they actually kept the dolls in there, I guess because they seriously do not have any other room anywhere else in the house. So the Miz's mom's dolls are still in there. He's freaked out just by looking at him through the fucking mirror while he's working out. It's very distracting for him. Maurice joins him in the gym, and she's on the treadmill, and then all of a sudden they're talking back and forth about the dolls and how Miz wants him out, and Maurice is like, listen, I'm not going to talk to her for you. She's your mom. Go up to her and say, listen. I mean, this never really comes into play on this episode. I'm sure they were like, saving it for another episode down the road. But she had said, listen, it's your mom. Go talk to her yourself. If you need to break her heart, it's better than looking at the fucking dolls in the mirror while you're working out, so figure something out. Before they can conclude their conversation, Maurice's dress gets ripped off through the treadmill because it gets sucked into the thing, and obviously they blur everything out and they put up shit so you don't see anything, of course, so don't get your hopes up. But it was funny, though, and Miz, because of that, he freaks out a little bit, and the weight that he has on his shoulders knocks over a couple dolls behind him. So he thinks there might be something going on there, so the dolls may have something to do with this. So they visit let's see if I can get this right, the obstetrician, if that's how you pronounce it, the baby doctor. Honestly, I don't know anything about this yet, so I didn't even know what the baby doctor was called. I know the OBY or whatever, but the obstetrician, it's the same one they saw when they had Monroe a year or two ago. So they go back to that same woman. They go back to that same person because they had luck the first time, so they go back to her. Miz vehemently wants a boy. He absolutely wants a boy, and he wants to know the gender ahead of time because the doctor knows. She's like, listen, I can give you the gender if you want. I can just outright tell you. And Miz is like, yeah, tell me right now. Because his worry is, he found out when Monroe was a girl through the cake that they cut. And it had the pink on the inside. As soon as they cut the cake and as soon as he saw the pink, he had a million things going through his head that he was having a girl. It's not that he wasn't happy, and it's not that the smile on his face was fake or anything when the picture was taken. But he didn't want to be worried and thinking about all of that, so he would rather know ahead of time so he's not really worrying about it. Maurice was like, no, listen, we're going to have a gender reveal party, and you're not going to know ahead of time. Miz, when they look at the fucking, I'm terrible with this stuff, but where you see the baby on the monogram, I don't know, something like that, but he thinks that he sees a penis. I didn't think I would hear those words uttered here on this show, but Miz thinks he sees a penis on the monogram, which is a swerve, because it's not a boy, and anyone who knows Miz and Maurice and has followed their pregnancy, they've already had the girl. The girl was born months ago, so we already know it's a girl, but it's the process of them finding out that it's a girl on this episode. But he thinks he sees a penis. The doctor says it's not a penis, and Miz goes, it is a penis. First of all, you wouldn't be able to see that, I don't think, on a monogram or whatever the hell this thing is. I forget the term. But I mean, if it was also that easy, then why wouldn't he have just figured it out himself, So that was stupid of the Miz to assume that. So we see Miz backstage at like a WWE show talking to Renee Young about Maryse and her pregnancy and how everything is going. And they get interrupted by Zack Ryder, who seemingly is all over this show. I don't know why he wasn't at the gender reveal party. Dolph Ziggler was there. Ryan Cabrera was there. I don't know where Zack Ryder was, but he wasn't there. But he did interrupt The Miz talking to Renee Young backstage to show The Miz a podcast that The Miz's dad did with one of The Miz's friends, like a football like radio show or something, where The Miz had said, or The Miz's dad had said, George, he had said, I really want a boy. I really want The Miz to have a boy this time. He said that he's praying that it's a boy. So Miz calls his dad and is like, listen, stop doing the radio shows. Like, please don't do that. So he gets a big head after WrestleMania because remember, he had his 15 seconds of fame in that WrestleMania match between Shane and Miz. He was in there doing like the, putting his fists up. He was putting his arms up, ready to fight Shane. He got his ass kicked. But everyone loves The Miz's dad. People have loved The Miz's dad for years. I got to meet him that same weekend at Access. Not like a formal thing, but I ran into him at Access, and I'm like, hey, shit, can I have a picture? And he was like, yeah, and he was nice before he ran off. But anyway, so he gets a big head from all this, buzz that he's getting from this WrestleMania moment. People work years to get that WrestleMania moment and never get it, but The Miz's dad did in 15 seconds in that street fight at WrestleMania. I think that's hilarious, and he deserves that. I mean, I know he's not a contracted member of the roster, but this guy's been all over WWE TV for years now. Like when The Miz got his ass kicked by Randy Orton like 6-7 years ago on Raw, and The Miz's dad, like the mom is freaking out. It's the same mom that he has. I mean, obviously, they weren't plants, they were his real parents, and the mom was freaking out, she was crying, and The Miz's dad did not look like he could give two shits. It was so fucking funny. But anyway, so Maryse reveals to her sister that she's going to be the one being the keeper of the gender. She's going to be the only one who is going to know what the gender of the baby is, because she needs to plan the party, get all the pink stuff or the blue stuff, whatever. Obviously, it ends up being pink because it's a girl, but she's going to organize the entire thing. Meanwhile, at the same little, get-together here that Maryse has with her family, in comes The Miz and his dad. And The Miz is like, listen, I have something for all of you. It's merchandise with himself and The Miz on it from SmackDown, like a poorly put-together shirt. He has T-shirts. He has trading cards. He has a bib for Monroe. The trading cards get ripped up by Monroe, by the way, which is hilarious, which is kind of a freaking sign that they're terrible, But he also has boxer briefs, which it isn't enough for him to just show off the boxer briefs that he has in his hand. He has to pull down his pants and show off the boxer briefs that he is wearing with himself and his son on it. And I don't know how they blurred out the Maryse thing when her dress got sucked in by the treadmill. I had a brain fart there for a second, but how can you blur out Maryse getting her dress sucked in by the treadmill, but then not blur out the Miz's dad's junk on the boxer briefs that he's wearing? Like, come on, you're just asking me to be scarred for life. That's just ridiculous. But anyway, so Miz tries to steal the envelope from Maryse's sister, his sister-in-law, from like the room that she's sleeping in, which is weird. He pulls out the envelope from, first of all, she put it in her shirt originally, and I thought that's what he was going to do, which I'm glad he didn't. She rather put it in like the drawer next to her while she was sleeping. He steals the envelope while she's still sleeping. He brings it downstairs, and he teaches us all a trick, something I've never heard before. First of all, he's like, if you have to open an envelope without actually like opening it all the way, you can put steam ahead of it. Or put steam on it, and it'll loosen the stickiness of the envelope. I've never heard that before. I've never had to open an envelope without actually just ripping it open, but I guess good to know if I ever want to steal someone's mail, I guess. So The Miz teaches us that little life lesson there. But before he can get any, closer with the envelope, his niece catches him. I believe it's Maryse's sister's daughter, because she was in the other room. She catches him, and Miz is like, what is it going to take for you to not tell anyone that I'm doing this? And she, does the whole money thing. She's like, pay me some cash more, and I'll stay silent. And I don't know how much money, he gave her, but I'm assuming it was at least $20, because she stole the bill right out of his hand. But she also told him, go put back the envelope. Go put back the envelope. And we come to find out later on that she told Maurice anyway. So Miz gave away the money and to this little girl, to his niece, and she still, told on him, which is hilarious. So that just goes to show, stop stealing stuff from other people, including gender reveal information, your baby gender's information, and then, you won't have this done to you. You won't have to give away money. But anyway, it was around this, same point in the episode that we find out that the Mrs. Dad is doing an appearance at a local bowling alley. I'm not sure if it was in, where they live now in Los Angeles or if it's in Ohio. I don't know. But Miz finds out through Instagram the post has all of 3 likes. And he feels bad. I mean, he knows his dad is getting a big hit from WrestleMania, from what happened at WrestleMania. But he's like, you know what? I want him to have his time in the sun. So he reposts the post, and he's not sure how it's going to go. He wants his dad to, feel good about himself, but he also doesn't want to break his heart. So he goes to the appearance with him. Not that the Miz was advertised or anything, I don't think anyway. So they go to the appearance at the bowling alley. Come to find out, there's security there. They have to walk in through the back. There's a whole line at the bowling alley, and Miz is pleasantly surprised, and he utters the words, "I'm proud of you, Dad," which is something I guess he does not often say, because it's something that the Mrs. Dad does not often say to him. And Mrs. Dad was taken aback by that, and they take pictures, and the crowd loves it, and the crowd pretends to be more interested in Mrs. Dad than the Miz, but I'm sure they were freaking out that the Miz was there too. I wouldn't be surprised if the entire family was advertised to be there, not just the dad. But it was pretty cool. The Mrs. Dad is a very nice guy, so it was very cool to see him in high spirits after seeing this long line, line up on the outside of the bowling alley just to meet him, which is kind of cool. Well, not on the outside of the bowling alley, but rather on the inside. But anyway, we fast forward to the gender reveal party. Dolph Ziggler shows up early. Why? I don't know. Rather, probably just for the sake of the scene that we're about to see here, where the Miz wants to blow up the rocket and it sounds worse than it actually is. Maurice gives The Miz and Dolph Ziggler a rocket that has the gender reveal in it, but whether it's blue confetti, pink confetti, whatever. Maurice knows that he can't help himself. So what happens is Miz and Dolph go back and forth. Dolph doesn't want to do it. Dolph is not along for the ride. He does not want to ruin Mike and Maurice's special moment. So he doesn't really go along with it. He's still there. So Miz blows it up himself. He can't help himself. He wants to know ahead. He wants to know before anyone else. So what he does is he blows it up accidentally in his crotch. Come to find out that the little confetti in it, it's not blue, it's not pink, it's yellow. And on it, it reads, "You're busted, Mike." Because Maurice knew that Mike couldn't help himself. She knew that Miz couldn't help himself. So she put little, customized confetti in there to say, "Hey, you're busted. Come find out with the rest of us." And Miz, Maurice gets anxious. She's like, "Why do you want to find out ahead of time so bad? Is it because you don't want a girl? Is it you want a boy that bad? Like, it makes me nervous that you don't want a girl." And he says, "Listen, I'll be blessed either way. I know I really want to know ahead of time. It's just because I want to be prepared. But, Monroe Sky was the best thing to ever happen to me. And if we can have another girl, then I'll be blessed." And it's hard for Maurice to be mad at him after he's being sweet like this. And now, typical guy, now he wants her to massage his dick because it hurts after the rocket thing blew up right in his crotch. I mean, that's just typical guy stuff. And she's like, "Are you kidding me right now?" And she does it real quickly before they go back to the party. So everyone shows up in blue or in pink. I've never been to a gender reveal party, but I guess that would make sense. For everyone to show up in blue or pink, hoping for it to be a girl or a guy. Ryan Cabrera shows up wearing pink. No Alexa Bliss, unfortunately. This might have been before they started dating. Actually, I'm sure it was. This was probably last spring, and I believe they started dating last fall. But anyway, Mrs. Dad is, of course, there as well. And Miz shows his dad a shirt that the WWE shop is working on for him that says Mood, and it's like the Miz's dad doing that pose from WrestleMania, and he's like, "Yeah, I can do that." Like, not over the top elated, and Miz is like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, "Yeah, you'll do that?" Like, WWE shop is making you a shirt, and you're like, "Yeah, I'll do it." Like, you should be more excited than that. It's the typical dynamic that Miz has with his dad. I love it. And ultimately, they find out that it's a girl. Everyone blows up the rockets. It's pink confetti. Miz is super elated, as he would expect him to be. Maurice is loving it. And before they even blow up the rockets, they say, "Listen, if it's a boy, we're done. But if it's a girl, we're gonna have to go at it again." And I'm sure Maurice wants more kids, so I'm sure she's loving this. So they reveal that it's a girl. Everyone's happy. But to close out the episode, Maurice says to Miz, another one? We doing this again? And he goes, yeah, I'm ready for the next round. I'm ready to do this again. Another one. So he wants another kid. He's going to keep going. He's going to have a whole soccer team of girls until he gets his boy. So hopefully third time's the charm with the likely third child that they have. Like I said, the second child, I forgot what the name was. It's something Jade. The name might be Jade, and that might be their middle name. I don't remember. The baby's name is something Jade or Jade something. I don't remember. Miz She was born a couple months ago, maybe October, I want to say, around there in the fall. And if they wanted to have a third baby, hey, they might be going for it sooner rather than later. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, this was great stuff. Very much enjoyed this episode. Very fitting for Valentine's Day. So if you haven't already seen it on USA Network, definitely do so. I have Xfinity. They have all the episodes on Xfinity. They do for a lot of shows that if you haven't seen them like yet already, they're on there in full if you can just go back and watch them, which is cool. So anyway, be sure to check out this episode of Miz and Mrs. Enjoyable one as always. Season 2, Episode 3, Baby Gender Miztery. And thank you guys, as always, for checking out this episode of WWE Network and Chill. I appreciate it. Be sure to like the video, drop a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. Coming up this weekend, I think there's a new day of tonight. It's either tonight or Sunday. Pretty sure it's tonight. Maybe it's Sunday, I forgot, but I'm pretty sure it's definitely this weekend either way. That's going up one of these days. I'll be sure to watch that, break that down. As always, those are always very well done, always enjoyable. So whether it's Sunday or Monday, that'll be up soon. And then I think this Sunday is the debut of the Ruthless Aggression show on WWE Network. Kind of quiet premiere. You haven't seen or heard too much about it on WWE TV. But I've seen all the promos for it on YouTube, on social media, and it looks fucking awesome. That Monday Night War show they did years ago, like when the network was first conceived, was great. It was an awesome show, but you know, I'm not a big Monday Night Wars guy, and I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I love the Ruthless Aggression era, so I can only imagine how much better this show will be, if not just as good, so we'll soon see. But I think that premieres this Sunday, and if it does, I got a ton of content to watch and review this weekend right here on Network and Chill, so not a better time to subscribe to the channel than right now. Today we got this, tomorrow SmackDown audio review, Sunday probably the day of review, Monday, Tuesday, the Ruthless Aggression premiere episodes. We'll be discussing those right here. I think there's a new one on Sunday, then another new one on Monday morning. So a lot to watch, a lot to review. Be sure to check those out right here on the channel in the coming days. So until next time, guys, go out and enjoy your Valentine's Day. I'm going out with Alexis tonight. We're going to see a movie, dinner, ice cream, maybe back in time to watch SmackDown. We will soon see, but got a big day lined up for Alexis. Very much looking forward to it. Hope you have a great day as well. Fantastic Friday, if not. Otherwise, guys, I'll catch you back here on the channel in a few days. Until then, have a great one. I'm Graham Chiesa Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.